A new week, a brand new news video. Check out the biggest news about your favorite movies and series. This time, you can look forward to seeing the first images of Avatar 3, as well as a new Game of Thrones series and the 5th installment of the Shrek franchise. There's also information on a Harry Potter series, a new Street Fighter movie, and the live-action adaptation of Lilo and Stitch. Apart from Toy Story, Shrek is probably one of the most iconic franchises in the genre of 3D animation. Although the 4 films about the cult ogre have grossed nearly $3 billion at the box office, it was quiet around the green hero for a long time. This is now changing. Illumination CEO Chris Meledandri told Variety that talks for Shrek 5 are already ongoing. Although Meledandri's company is currently making headlines, primarily with the Super Mario Bros. Movie, fans will be thrilled to hear that he's devoting the same level of enthusiasm to a Shrek sequel. According to his own statement, he's taking a similar approach to Mario, taking a close look at what the core elements are that have made the franchise so popular. From there, he says it's hard work to integrate them into a new story with more characters and locations. Talks are currently being held with the original cast, including Mike Myers as Shrek, Cameron Diaz as Fiona, and Eddie Murphy as Donkey. All 3 are absolutely delighted to be involved again. Murphy, in particular, previously expressed his excitement about possible Shrek sequels after the recent spin-off, Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish, was so well received. Illumination CEO Meledandri, appropriately enough, commented in the same interview that Donkey could certainly benefit from a film of his own. As soon as we get new information about the next Shrek movie, we'll immediately let you know. Despite all the concerns, the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, was able to build on the success of the original series, so it makes perfect sense that HBO is now considering further spin-offs. According to Variety, another prequel series is currently being planned around Aegon Targaryen. The events surrounding the famous dragon rider take place another 100 years prior to the happenings of House of the Dragon. Aegon set the foundation for the Targaryen rule over Westeros and created the Iron Throne, thus a significant story that is to be told in an epic series. The project is currently still at an early stage. At present, the team is looking for a suitable author to adapt the story to a script. However, the series will not be the only project. HBO is currently considering making a movie to introduce the entire story. We'll keep you posted on how this project performs alongside the numerous other Game of Thrones projects that were announced in the past and have already been partly scrapped. The next release will probably be House of the Dragon Season 2 sometime next year. Hardly any other topic is as hotly debated among Potterheads as the adaptation of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter book series. After the last appearances of Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint in the movie series almost 12 years ago, there is now news about a reboot in a special format. According to various Hollywood media reports, talks are currently being held about an HBO series based on the 7 Harry Potter books. The idea is to produce a separate season for each of the books. This would make it much easier to cover more of the details of the original books, which have only been marginally touched upon in the previous films, or not at all. This would mean that 7 seasons of the world-famous Harry Potter saga would be planned from the outset. This is naturally also associated with certain risks, especially if the series is not as well received as anticipated. Actually, the idea has been circulating behind the scenes for several years, but it is said to have been put on the back burner for a while after the merging of Warner Bros. And Discovery. Now that the deal has been finalized last year, however, production seems to be picking up pace once again. CEO David Zaslav has already announced that he intends to make some Harry Potter projects a top priority in the future. Creator J.K. Rowling is also expected to play an important role in the new projects and act as a producer. So far, there is no official statement on the Harry Potter series. As soon as further details come to light, we will let you know, of course. We are particularly curious about the cast. Fans will be keen to know who will be following in the footsteps of their movie heroes. In spite of its partly predictable plot, Avatar 2: The Way of Water was able to impress fans and critics above all with its visuals. In particular, the elaborate depiction of marine life caused director James Cameron to outperform his own film Titanic on the list of the most successful movies of all time. As a result, he secured 3rd place after the first Avatar and Avengers Endgame. Whether Avatar 3 can top the box office takings, which have now reached $2.24 billion, will be revealed next year. But before that, there's an even more significant question. What will the 3rd part of James Cameron's successful film series look like? A first impression is now provided by the latest concept images. As we already know, Avatar 3 is focused on new worlds, following the recent emphasis on the gigantic oceans. This time we can expect the exact opposite with a barren desert region, whereas the snow-covered landscape that has been teased is likely to be particularly cold. And finally, the volcanic region, shown here, surely has a special meaning. This is the home of the so-called Ash People, who will play a major part in the upcoming film alongside the previously introduced Na'vi. Even though not a lot is visible of the people yet, the images of the 3 new regions offer a first preview of what's to come. The new variety of landscapes is supposed to show that Pandora, just like Earth, has many different peoples and areas. We are excited to learn more about the Avatar 3 project in the coming weeks and months. The theatrical release is scheduled for December 20th, 2024. Street Fighter is one of the most famous gaming brands ever, and still thrills many gamers more than 30 years after its original release. The now announced plans for a live-action Street Fighter movie therefore caused quite a sensation among fans. But the idea has been there before, and many have rather disappointing memories of it. We are talking about the 1994 Street Fighter action flick starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. The movie adaptation even made it to Time magazine's list of the worst video game adaptations of all time in 2009. Since then, 7 smaller films have been made for the franchise, but only the anime Street Fighter II: The Animated Movie remains in memory in a halfway positive way, and that was also released in 1994. So it's evident that a new Street Fighter live-action movie won't cause fans to jump for joy right away. Nevertheless, Legendary Entertainment, which recently enjoyed great success with Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong, would like to take up the challenge. Legendary is said to have acquired the necessary rights to the brand in order to be able to produce not only a live-action film, but also a series adaptation. Likewise involved is Street Fighter creator Capcom, which will support the upcoming projects. At the moment, there is no specific information about when the first film or series will be released, and above all, which actors will be involved. Before that, Street Fighter VI will be released on June 2nd. The latest part of the game series will certainly provide a solid basis for further film and series adaptations should it do well. There hasn't been a lot of Lilo and Stitch movies since the mid-2000s. Now, there's finally going to be a follow-up on Disney Plus with a live-action film adaptation. The story of the 2 odd friends is world famous, and it was really only a matter of time before the project, which was announced back in 2018, would move forward. The website, Night Edge Media, exclusively announced at the end of last week that the actress of the young Lilo has been cast. The actress concerned is newcomer Maya Kealoha, who is involved for the first time in such a major project. One aspect stands out immediately. She bears an uncanny resemblance to the cartoon character. A shitstorm due to miscasting, as with other Disney projects, is therefore unlikely. The story of Lilo and Stitch is about a young Hawaiian girl, Lilo, who one day adopts a peculiar little creature that resembles a dog. It turns out that this creature is an alien experiment called 626 and is being sought by intergalactic hunters. The 2 embark on a precarious adventure, and together they experience all kinds of bizarre situations. Above all, the charm of the animated original is one of the reasons why the franchise is so widely popular. It will therefore be exciting to find out to what extent Disney manages to achieve the desired cross between live action and CGI. Besides Kealoha, Hangover star Zach Galifianakis was already cast a long time ago. However, it is still unknown which role the comedy star will play. By the way, the script is the work of Chris Kekaniokalani-Bright, who has already received a great deal of praise as the author of 2016's Moana. So far, it is not certain when Lilo and Stitch will be available on Disney+, but we will keep you posted as always. We hope you enjoyed the news. Which particular project are you looking forward to the most? And if you haven't had enough, we highly suggest you to check out the latest trailers for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, as well as the new colorful Barbie trailer. Thanks for watching.